Good morning. Welcome to Dumb Money.
We're still in Austin. Last week we showed you the whirlwind that is our life and trying to meet with nearly 100 companies over 72 hours. We just finished that and we thought today would be a good time to show you some of our favorites.
They're more than favorites. Like, let's be honest, we really, really like these three companies that we're showing today. Fairly high likelihood we're going to invest.
I'd say at least probably 2 out of the 3.
I think despite our thesis going into this that we are purely shopping and not buying, I think that we probably are going to do some buying. Last week's episode, we barely had time to go in depth into anything. This week, I think we are going to not only show you 3 of our favorites, but we're going to actually do something that we've been talking about doing, that we've received comments that you guys are interested in seeing longer form content, seeing kind of more of the real behind the scenes.
All of our raw footage from our 3 favorite startup meetings on this trip.
We're going to keep it short in what you're watching right now, but we're going to link to the extended, unfiltered, uncut. What are we calling it?
Dumb Money Raw? Dumb Money Uncut? Dumb Money...
I like uncut.
Dave, of our 3 favorites, which one was your favorite?
We met with so many companies, but the 3 that we're going to talk about today, we're going to start with
Credo Foods. This was a surprise for us. We took this meeting thinking that we were going to hate the product, but we're really making an attempt to discover health-oriented food companies, CPG, consumer product good companies. That's a category that we're now interested in. We think it's the beginning of a mega trend in that industry, and we want to get invested in a handful of them.
The problem with the better for you food movement for me is the better for you doesn't always taste great. This was remarkably queso-like.
It's not queso, just call it vegan dip.
It's nut based, I think.
It's called vegan nut dip.
The world is changing.
Look, that's fine. You can have your vegan nut dip. It's just not queso.
Well, okay, no.
I'm excited to try vegan nut dip. That sounds so appealing.
We're trying some vegan queso here today.
I've already done my research, and I know for a fact that people like it, and that's why I want to. That's why I want to meet with you guys.
That's really good.
Obviously, we just tasted it outside. I'm blown away. It does not only taste like queso,
It's actually a good queso.
it's a good queso. It's a really good queso, right?
Exact opposite. I was expecting, I don't know what I was expecting, some kind of like vegetable juice.
And like this is taste specific, but the event manager, the green one is taste specific. I like this. The event manager preferred that over that, which is really cool to see. Yeah.
This is actually good. This tastes like my homemade queso.
So you're not in restaurants yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Like as of next week, we will be in our first restaurant.
Okay, so you've got a way to distribute in bulk. And
So yeah, we knew that food service was going to be a very big focus of ours really early, and so we have this 8-ounce container. It's a 9-ounce container of queso, but we also have a 5-pound food service bag as well. Yeah. Here's the thing: I wasn't really prepared for this meeting because I figured, okay, we're all about healthy CPG foods right now, so the fact that you were down here, I wanted to meet with you, but I didn't expect to like it. I love this so much.
Thank you.
What I love about this company is they don't just make packaged queso for groceries, they are also marketing to restaurants in a similar fashion to Beyond Meat and Impossible Foods, which are now multi-billion-dollar companies in the vegan meat category. So here we have the vegan dip category, probably not as big as vegan meat, but it's literally, this company has only launched 60 days ago, so we're getting it on the ground floor. I love these guys.
And if you're interested in seeing even more of our conversation with them, we'll link to that.
So another company we're excited about is Listing Spark. So what these guys do is instead of charging 3% commission on the sale of your home, they want to provide a do-it-yourself solution, and they'll charge you $7 a day. Come out, take pictures of your house, and get everything online, ready to market, facilitate the entire transaction.
They're democratizing residential real estate. $7 a day, you can list your home, and they provide all the tools you need to do so. They take your photography right, $7 a day, done.
We're servicing the market that wants a more active role. We're trying to provide all the tools that ultimately Door and these companies are going to need to be able to scale past just an individual market, city, state, region, provide all of those tools directly to the home seller and let them control their own destiny, empower them to sell on their terms, and ultimately save even more in terms of the commissions on the home selling process.
So basically, you're just trying to be like an online type automated realtor almost.
Exactly. We don't want to give you a assessment. We want you to be able to sell your own way. So without disaligned interest. So a broker might tell you to sell for 10K less because they need that commission to just sell their home. But we're going to give you the data to say, hey, if you sell for 10K less, you'll be off the market quick. But if you want to hold out another month, because the average days on market, say you can hold out another month and sell for 10K more, do that. You get to choose. You get the data right there for you.
What I think I really like is the automation here. Am I correct in thinking that there's no human interaction between your company and the customer selling their house, potentially?
Potentially, right. That is where we want to go.
Because that's not where Door and all the other companies
Correct.
A little customer service, but it's a really do-it-yourself product.
Correct. And any place that we're using human elements now is just in lieu of software yet to be built. And that's not just on the brokerage side, that's also eventually on the title side as well.
Now, here's the thing, guys. It wasn't too long ago that we basically said we're never doing another real estate tech company.
We've been burned on real estate tech before.
We're going to be extra careful, and I still feel that way. We need to be extra careful with this company.
I love the idea of simplifying and shifting the way real estate transaction happens.
They're not going and trying to replace everything. They're just going after the do-it-yourself guy to make it a little bit easier for the do-it-yourself guy.
Correct. But what I like about these guys is they're not racing to the bottom, they're starting at the bottom.
I would like them to start even lower. If they could figure out a $0 model, that would be amazing.
Okay, so we're invested in Robinhood, which is now a $7 billion online trading company, and they were free online trading, right? They right to the bottom.
Completely changed the industry.
Yeah.
And when they first started, everyone thought they were crazy.
Absolutely.
And now what's their value?
Now they're laughing at everyone else.
My biggest concern is their branding right now. But if we think of it the way we would anything else, that's kind of a burner brand that they can establish, they can prove their product market fit, they can do all those things under this brand. And then when we're ready to flip the switch and go national, that's when a new name.
And here's the thing, we addressed that with them in the meeting, and they are totally ready, they're prepared to change their branding, which is great.
The other company that we want to talk about on today's show is a company that Chris and I got to use coming here to Austin from Houston, Hitch. Hitch is the kind of Uber for longer distance, I'm already going that way, ride sharing.
Thank you. So the business model for Hitch is kind of interesting. They pick you up at a Starbucks and drop you off at a Starbucks, and that's just for cost efficiency and simplicity.
Every Hitch ride originates from this location, and it's on the edge of town. You're heading from Houston to Austin. You're going to be going this direction anyway, so it kind of makes sense. So we had to take a lift from NASA to Starbucks, and now we're about to hitch.
Is this the first time you've done Hitch, or?
Oh no, I've been doing these since the end of October.
Oh, really? Wow. What do you think about the concept?
Of Hitch?
Yeah.
They're just running Austin and Houston route right now.
Mm-hmm.
But then soon they're going to be doing all the big cities in Texas.
And usually aren't they already driving there?
I've been driving with Hitch ever since they started at the end of October.
So you just have a direct relationship with them. So
Yeah.
you just drive for them. That's cool.
Chris is up from his nap now. We still have like an hour and a half, I think.
It's the longest shared ride ever. It's really weird being in a multi-hour Uber, essentially, is what it is, right?
It's very strange. And we're in Ellinger, Texas. There's a lot of farmland around here.
I like the experience, though. I mean, I like the concept of going multi-city in a shared ride, right?
It's different, but I mean, if you're going to do a 3-hour drive, being driven, I think, personally, I'd much rather be driven than drive. I can't even remember the last time I was the driver on an Austin trip. You're usually the driver?
I usually drive. I usually like it, but this is kind of nice.
We actually use the service to get from Austin to here.
Yeah. How big can this get? Like I want to know what the addressable market size is for a single route.
Yeah, so I mean, there are, I think, tens of thousands of drives going on in between two cities at a given time now, where
Daily?
weekly. Where I think that this gets really interesting, especially from a ridership standpoint, is where, and we've seen this happen to some degree so far, is how much can we actually expand the frequency of travel for a lot of these riders, because it's just so easy, and it's actually making the commute sort of frictionless in between two cities. And I think that now and you see this happening in the West Coast and in the Northeast, where sort of these commuter markets are opening up that are farther and farther away from the core urban area as the real estate prices are going higher and whatnot. One of the things that I realized was that there exists sort of this duopoly in this intercity travel space. Huge companies, I mean, Greyhound and Megabus are huge companies that are offering absolutely abysmal consumer experiences, where most sort of consumer companies in the 21st century are doing as much as they can to offer great consumer experiences, and then there exists this, where I was incredibly shocked by the fact that the station, the employees at the station were unhappy. From every frame of the journey, just absolutely sucked.
Time seems right for this.
I think so. I think the time is right for this. I think people are more so desensitized to sharing and the peer-to-peer economy as a whole. Now that Uber and Lyft are in the marketplace, it gives us a really easy way to get to liquidity.
The more I think about the concept, the more I like it, the more I get what it could be. So it's a slow grower for me in terms of, but I get it.
Every question that I've ever asked here and the last time we talked, it's like, you've thought about it 1,000 times more. You just take it like way deeper than I would have ever thought. So the only way this makes sense is if you reach critical mass and there's enough drivers and there's enough passengers. Right. And so it's really hard to just make that happen overnight.
It seems like a very challenging uphill battle, and I'm
totally crazy to me, but I'm not in love with him, but I love the founder. I think he's fantastic.
Super impressive.
I think the founder is that guy's only 20?
20 years old. He's incredible.
Yeah.
How are kids these days so much smarter?
I don't know.
Some of them are a lot smarter than us. So we're not going to invest a lot of money in Hitch. It's a long shot investment. Yeah. It's still unproven, but
it's unproven, uncharted territory.
I think I would put in a little bit just because of the founder is so compelling.
Could it be the next Uber? Could it be the next Lyft?
I mean, it's a completely different version of Uber or Lyft. It could be acquired by Uber or Lyft.
Okay, how big is the global bus market? He's quoting $40 billion.
Yes.
So that's a $40 billion global market, and there is a version of this in Europe, but it works very differently than Hitch. I think this could potentially be the next Uber or Lyft.
If you want to see the extended, uncut version of our Hitch conversation, we're going to link to that one too.
This could be a 3-hour episode for you, should you choose to watch all 3 of our extended meetings.
I can't imagine you're going to want to, but it's up to you. Like those uncut versions if you like those. Like this video if you liked this. That'll give us a kind of a judge of what you like to see.
Comment on both.
Absolutely. And we thank you guys so much for watching. We are Dumb Money. We will see you next week. You guys need to say anything?
Later.
Goodbye.